So I was thinking of going outside because I'm going to be taking a look at two zines from CXC 2024, Heatseekers and Communication number 1. Heatseekers, Ohio winter, thought it would be funny. But you know what? It's January. It's cold outside. Let's just go look at the zine.
Government is trapping the system.
Hey everybody, it's Tom. It's FANzine Live. We are doing new releases from Cartoon Crossroads Columbus, and that would be the 2024 edition. This is Heatseekers by Rodrigo Vargas, and it's interesting. I remember this zine because this was the first thing I purchased at CXC that year. Rodrigo was on a side wall, and so I started on the side and started looping back and forth. And he happened to have the first one that looked interesting. This is a classic youth adventure comic, kind of in the Stand By Me mode. It also is a dystopian comic. And as you look here, you can see we've got some broken glass. We've got rats running all over the place. You can see, well, there we go. You can see that the buildings are a mess and the like. This is a dystopian comic. And if you didn't have these pieces in the background and in the setting, it really wouldn't read like one. I am convinced, though, that the COVID crisis of the early 2020s was the spur for an entire renaissance of the dystopian genre. And we will, over time, respect it more and more. I could very well see some well-meaning liberal arts student doing a fantastic PhD dissertation about the explosion of dystopian work, not just in zines and small press comics and the like, but through regular comics, through literature, through film, through everything. It's all over the place. And we're still dealing with it today. And I actually like dystopian work, so dealing with it is a little harsh. But anyway, a lot of good dystopian stuff happening. So if you like the end of the world, reading about the end of the world, you're going to get a whole lot of it these days. We're going to last forever. Heatseekers. Rodrigo did a cute little comic there, and then signed it for me. So you can see the artwork is really quite done. The zine itself is slightly smaller. I'm going to pull out one of these. Slightly smaller than the traditional 5.5 by 8.5. It's about 5 by maybe 7.5. So it's not a traditional digest. It's probably more of a manga size, which I think is what he's going for. You will note over time, especially with the nice bright white paper with beautiful printed ink. This is something. And then I start seeing touches like the shading under the eyes, the way that the people smile and talk. You've got a lot of manga influence here. And so this zine really is, and I mean, they've got, yes, you've got fires in the streets and you've got all sorts of chaos going on around you. But what you really have is the story of these kids. And you can see that it's kids living a normal life in the middle of, look at that, burning trash and stuff like that. And so they're going to go hang out together. They're going to go look at records and then have some lunch before a show. And you can see people are throwing on some serious graffiti. But here's the record store. And it really doesn't look like anything anything nasty is happening in the world. Kid's working on his guitar work. You got jokes about that. They're looking at records. The kid's getting picked on. The owner says you need to learn to fight back. Another kid steals his record. Chase scene. And of course, this kid who stole the record has a whole bunch of friends. And it's the Rat King, apparently. So chase scene continues. And now they're climbing up on top of the tower, I guess, scaffolding for the crane. It's pretty impressive. So they have some music. Then they decide, they chuck a rock down. Oh, because this kid's playing the music, and so they throw a rock down at him, and they're saying, hey, I'm writing here. Sorry, pick a better song next time. So, it's just kids being kids. It's a gorgeous looking piece, though. And then some cute advice column stuff. So anyway, Rodrigo did a nice job with this scene. I really like it, and it's got tons of attitude. So I'm going to share this stuff in the show notes, and we're going to take a look at one more right now. Among the many different types of zines that you have in the world are simply the illustration zines, almost like an art book. This is an excellent version of one. This is Communication, one by Mr. Bradley and Mr. Martin. I wish I had their full names. They're from Third Mind Comics. I will take a look at that. This is a classic digest, quarter-page digest, saddle-stitched. The paper is a little harder. It's almost a cardstock type thing. These guys are out of Columbus, Ohio, and this is a little old for them. They did it 5 years ago. I have never seen it before. So we're going to call it new and hope they forgive me. But anyway, they do communication, and the whole thing is about power lines and telephone wires. And as you can see, you've got photography mixed in, almost in a mixed media mode with drawn stuff. Look at that. That is wild. Clearly playing with their computer and the different filters you can get. Shadow. The juxtaposition of the wires against the tree, the wires against the clouds. Neat black and white. It deconstructs even further. I like the silhouette of the person behind. And then there's also what looks almost like a silhouette of two people superimposed there. But really neat to see. And this might just be the same piece of artwork time and time again, or at least something close. Because it's basically one pole, which you can see through here, you can see through here. I don't think it's the exact same, but it's really close. I like that. Oh, neat to do the reverse image, the negative image. So very cool. Third Mind Comics is at Neviette's and Potted Houseplant. And they're on Instagram, which I will put in the show notes. Communication, number one. Neat zine. a little different than what I usually take a look at, but I love expanding my horizons. Hopefully you do too. That's it for now, everybody. Thank you so much for watching FANzine Live, the new releases from CXC. We'll have more next.
Government is trapping the system.